Yeah, it's on.
It is?
Good evening. I would like to call the Flint Board of Education Committee of the whole meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. Board member, before we get started, please make sure your electronic devices are turned off or turned down, so your phone won't be beeping. Board members, I call your name. Please reply present for the record. Treasurer Luna. Trustee King.
Present.
Trustee Relaford.
Present.
Vice President Clatt.
Present.
Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre.
Present.
Secretary Perkins. Present. Myself, President Mike Neal. 6 present, 1 absent. Board members, in your package, we have 2 items that I will need to add to the agenda. We got a video of the community event, and we got info from HR and attorney that you have in your package, and we would like to add those to the agenda.
Do you need a motion?
Yes.
I move that we add the 2 requested items to tonight's agenda.
Support.
It been supported, made a motion, second by, and supported by Perkins. Board members, I call your name. Please say yes for the, no for the records. Treasurer Luna. Trustee King.
Yes.
Trustee Relaford.
No.
Vice President Clatt.
Yes.
Assistant Secretary McIntyre.
Yes.
Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Joyce Ellis McNeil, myself. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 yes, 1 absent, and 1 no. The board will now hear comments from the public. We ask that you state the reason for addressing the board and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes on matters within the authority of the board and not address individuals by name. The presiding officer of the board should have the right to limit the number of persons who may address the board on the same subject. Please state your name and address first before beginning to speak. Is there anyone here from the public who wishes to address the board? Please come forward.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Speak a little louder, please.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Your name and your address before
I'm a
speaking.
little nervous, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Take your time.
My name is Charnetta. I live at 418 East Baker Street, Flint, Michigan. I'm here to speak about our disappointment and sadness at the decision to let Mr. Stu Blake go from the district. I have a 6-year-old daughter in the 1st grade at DTM. She was born with cerebral palsy and has other health issues. She received services through early on in GISD until 2020 when she turned 3. This is when we met Mr. Stu. Then we moved to Carmen. She was sent to early childhood programs at GISD. We moved back to Flint in spring 2023, and then she began working with Mr. Stu that summer, as she was owed some time with physical therapy. With this help, my daughter was improved. She improved her core strength and he had her fitted for her leg braces to help her balance and movement. And most of all, she loves working with him. He has high hopes and high expectations for her. He encourages her and pushes her to do what she can do and more. My child is just one of the many that Mr. Stu has a difference for. Please, for the sake of the students, reconsider the decision. That was all.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Great job. Anyone else would like to speak? Proceed.
Good evening. My name is Kimiata Hui. I live at 734
Pull your mic down a little.
Barney Avenue. This is my daughter, Kalia Hui Young. She attends DTM, and we're here, same reason, for Mr. Stu. My daughter has encephalomalacia, and Mr. Stu understood that, and he did so much to improve all the strengths in my daughter where she was lacking. He taught her how to ride a bike, he taught her how to run, how to kick a ball, throw a ball, everything. And his absence is really kind of detrimental for our children, you know, because they had a strong relationship for him. And Kalia, tell you, how you feel about Mr. Stu?
Awesome.
That's her best friend, so if possible, we would love to see Mr. Stu back at DTM. Thank you.
Next.
Good evening, board members. My name is Joanna Castleman. I live at 3021 Arizona Avenue. I have copies, if you would like, of what I'm going to read, because I don't know if I'll get it done in 3 minutes or not.
Three.
I-
Ms. King. She take care of it.
I was going to write something myself, but a co-teacher of mine wrote this, and it was so eloquently put that she could not come tonight, so she asked me to read it for her. Dear members of the Flint Community Schools Board of Education, my name is Mary Turney, and I've had the honor of serving as an educator at DTM Elementary School for the last 3 years out of my 25 years in Flint Community Schools. I've dedicated my career to Flint Community Schools, always striving to support our students and help them reach their full potential. Today, I am writing with a heavy heart to express my deep concern over the recent decision to not renew the contract for Mr. Stuart Blatt, a highly dedicated and accomplished physical therapist who has worked with our students for the past 8 years. The decision made abruptly and without regard for the best interest of our students stands in stark contrast to the district's strategic priorities, particularly scholar focus and teaching and learning. Strategic priority number 1, scholar focus. Our district prides itself on making decisions that support the development of the whole child. Mr. Blatt's work has done exactly that. His commitment to the physical, emotional, and educational well-being of our students has been unparalleled. He didn't just provide physical therapy services. He was an essential part of students' growth, enabling them to overcome physical limitations and engage fully in their education. One student, for example, who we saw last year, went from needing a wheelchair to walking independently at graduation, thanks to Mr. Blatt's expertise and care. His removal is not just a staffing change. It disrupts the critical support system these students rely on to succeed. Strategic priority 2, teaching and learning. The district sets high expectations for teaching and learning with a focus on continuous improvement. Mr. Blatt exemplifies this every day. Beyond his physical therapy duties, he provided invaluable guidance to staff on best practices for supporting students with mobility challenges, and he made sure each student had the resources they needed, sometimes even using his own money out of his own pocket to provide specialized equipment that students needed. His impact extended beyond this formal role, as he greeted students at the door each morning, assisted during lunches, and offered constant encouragement. His absence leaves a void that will undoubtedly hinder the progress of the students he supported, all of whom deserve access to the best possible education and support. Priority number 3, culture and climate. Mr. Blatt contributed greatly to creating a culture of inclusion, kindness, and perseverance within our schools. His interactions with students, families, and staff foster a climate where every child felt capable, valued, and seen. His commitment went far beyond his job description, as he consistently went above and beyond, attending graduations and other key events in students' lives. His presence was cornerstone for the positive climate we strive to cultivate. The sudden termination of his contract without consideration of the impact feels detached from our core values and directly undermines the positive culture we have worked hard to establish. And I'm sorry that only 3 minutes got me a page and a half into this. That's why I'm glad you have a copy to finish reading. And Mr. Blatt was a contracted employee, but I can tell you he had the best heart for Flint kids. He doesn't want to work anywhere else because he believes in Flint kids. That's the best I can say for this man, and to tell you the truth, he stayed after on open house night last week, well, 2 weeks ago, and taught my own child how to ride a two-wheel bike, knowing the next day would be his last day. I just want you to take to heart that Mr. Blatt was a vital part in our district. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments from the public?
Good afternoon. I hope all is well in your family and wishing your family very well. My name is Pamela Price, and I'm the founder and board CEO of Priceless Dreams nonprofit. And I just want you to know how much I love Flint Schools and what you're doing. I greatly appreciate your work. The reason I'm here today is because I want to be more active in the community. My nonprofit organization is located in the Capitol Theater building downtown. I have been helping Flint school students for about 5 years now. I want to be more actively engaged, and what I primarily focus on is literacy. I think it's very important for all our students to know how to read and write very well and comprehend what they're reading. Sight reading is different than comprehending what you're reading. The second part of my program is that I offer financial literacy. I teach the kids the importance of a budget. I teach them how to value money, also start market and investment, and I start in the kindergarten. And my goal is for all the students who follow the program to have $25,000 in the bank with a full ride scholarship, because I work with the colleges and universities throughout the United States. So I mentor them and start introducing them to college in the 7th grade, introducing them to deans and the presidents, so they have a pathway by the 9th grade for the colleges they want to attend to be accepted with a full ride. And that's why I'm speaking today.
Thank you. Thank you for the information. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak?
Madam President.
Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to address the board?
Madam President,
Yes.
did that young lady have any pamphlets she wanted to share?
I didn't know. Did you have information that you would like to give to the administrator?
To leave with us.
pass out? Do you have any pamphlet? Oh, that's okay, that's fine. Thank you, trustee Rutherford. We will now have a video of the community event. It's a 3-minute video. Proceed. Thank you. Okay.
tiptoe that tightrope, keep balance, baby, you beating. Your head up and your chest poking, you be who you believe in. Keep dreaming, keep working, keep living, keep loving, it's coming.
I want you to know that you can be successful and you will be successful. Keep setting them goals and keep grinding. But don't just like it, don't love it, you gotta live it. Whatever it is you want to do, if it's sports, if it's music, if it's being a doctor, lawyer, if it's school, you gotta live it. When you up, you gotta think about it. When you seek, you gotta dream about it. But let's go, good time.
There's no school district like Flint. Who else doing this? For their own people. And as a matter of fact, we didn't just do it for Flint Community School kids, but we did it for every kid in this city. We care about every kid. We want every kid to eat. We want every kid to have a good time. We want every kid to have a great education. Come on, give it up for Flint Community Schools. Come on.
We love you, that's what I'm gonna tell you. And we wanna build up our community. And one way to do that is for you to bring your children back to the Flint public school. We got a lot of things going on in Flint. We got a good curriculum. We got everything that you need to become a productive scholar and citizen.
And we're excited for the community. You hold this, son. That's your iPad. That's your iPad.
So Board of Education, we would just first like to, yeah, okay. It's nice. We'd like to first thank you for allowing us to do that community event. This has been, your dream is for us to get out in the community and do something big for our kids in the community, not just FCS, but the community as a whole, and show that we care about all kids in Flint. There's 15,000 school kids in Flint, and we are serving between 2,000 and 2,500 currently, but it is our goal to have our scholars come back to Flint.
Right.
And this is a step in that direction. To serve over 1,000 people that day was awesome. And I would like to just say, the person that did that video free of charge, and that was Miss Bridget's husband, Jason Jones.
Oh, thank you.
And that's a lot of work, and I'd just like to openly thank him for that work. And then the team, Miss Bridget was our coordinator, but also Miss Pam Beard, Miss Tamara Stokes, Miss Latrice Sublett, and those that worked hard. There was two gentlemen I want to just say from CSM. Jake, it was his birthday, and Eric. Those two gentlemen were very instrumental that day from CSM, moving tables and chairs. I think we all kind of moved some tables and chairs, but they were the only two gentlemen there from CSM, and they did a lot of work, and it was Jake's birthday. So Jake, thank you. Eric, thank you for your time. And just thank the community for coming out and supporting, and then all of you board members, for those of you who are able to be there, thank you for your time and efforts as well.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
You're welcome.
Great, great event. Next, we will have us, he's here? HR and Attorney Gardner come forward. here. Got so many pieces of paper. This right here. It's underneath that.
Okay. Ms. Beard. Can you speak to,
Yes, what we're doing?
yes?
Yes, you have before you right now tenure charges that have been filed against a school tenured teacher by the name of Stephanie Pascal. The documents have been provided to Ms. Pascal via certified mail. They were also delivered, hand-delivered, and also been emailed. We have not received a response. Since she is entitled, and the only way we can go into closed session is with her consent, this has to proceed in open session. At this juncture, the board has the document that notifies her, an attachment A, of the charges that she's going to have charges filed against her, and then attachment B includes the exact charges. There are 2 charges included. The first charge focuses primarily on just failing to report to work. The second charge focuses on insubordination. In this instance, the board has a resolution included, and in this instance, the board has to do is to review the charges and determine whether there's sufficient evidence to proceed on either each of the charges, one of the charges, or none of the charges. So in this particular situation, since she is not present, and she also had union representation, was informed about this as well. Apparently, they're not present either. The board can proceed to review the charges, and typically in this instance, the board just reviews the charges and then has to take action either by making a motion with the resolution that accepts the tenure charges on either one or both of the charges. So that's kind of where we stand with this matter.
Board President, if I may. I just want to make sure everyone's clear here. So are we seeking a motion to approve tenure charges?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I would need to proceed with seeking that motion,
Yes,
correct?
and it would have to be on either charge 1, charge 2, or both charges.
Okay. So as I seek a motion tonight,
Question, point of information. Are you going to reference what's inside of this resolution, or we're going one by one?
You could reference what's in the resolution and read through the resolution, because essentially that would probably be the proper way to ensure that everything is included.
So the resolution has both charges listed inside?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Madam Chair?
I guess I want to correct you. So are we having a discussion before we go into a motion, or are we going to do the motion, then do discussion? What are we doing here?
so it seems like I need to seek the motion, and
Yes.
then we move forward with discussion after, if it gets support. All right, so I'll move forward with that. Correct? I just want to make sure we're doing things right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve tenure charges for said employee on tonight for adoption.
I move that we move forward on tenure charges on both counts for Ms. Stephanie Pascal.
Support.
Trustee McIntyre, did you support it? A second. It's been properly moved in second for the resolution concerning the aforementioned employees. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Proceed.
I have one question. Attorney Garner, you stated that, first of all, hi, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Ms. Montgomery, how are you? You stated that she received a certified letter. Is there proof of that? Is there a card where you sign?
I was at a training, so I have not received a card back as of yet. And then I just wanted to make a correction. It was not emailed to her. It was mailed certified, and then I actually dropped it off at her residence.
When you dropped it off, did somebody sign it?
No, nobody signed. I knocked on the door. Nobody was there.
Where did you who did you give it to?
I left it on the door. It was in an envelope, and it was left there.
So anybody could have walked up on her porch and just grabbed it?
It was left on the porch in an envelope.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat what I heard you say. That it was mail certified,
Yes,
but you have yet to get a card back.
yes,
Okay. And secondly, you yourself personally, you hand delivered it, but no one was there, so you left it on the porch.
yes. And I also provided it to her, her union as well. And they attempted to reach out to her.
So we know her union's not her, right? So we're currently, right now, we don't have proof that she's received it. Is that correct?
No, I don't have proof that she's received it.
I guess for me, I'm not comfortable with the district not having proof that she received it. I think that right there is just good practice, because to say, you gave me something and I tell you I never received it, it's like your word against mine. And this is such a serious situation to where we need to make sure everything is in place. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like to know if the certified, when you sign for certified, you usually have to sign for it. And I guess the post office would know whether or not she signed for it, and you got nothing back from the post office.
Nope, I haven't received it back yet.
Do you think you've had enough time to have received something back from them?
Well, it was actually sent the end of last week, so it could be something that's on the way. It's just as of today, I've not received it yet.
And when you left it at her residence, was it put in her mailbox, in her door?
Well, no, it was put by the door, and it was in a sealed envelope.
Okay.
You have a picture of what you've done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at a later time, if you would like to see that, we can let you know what took place.
Madam Chair.
Trustee,
All right, just want to make sure I got my note. Can you walk me through, Ms. Montgomery, can you walk me through how this well, let me repeat back what I heard. So one, we sent the certified mail, we sent the letter.
Yes,
Then you also dropped off the same information that was in the letter?
Yes.
In an envelope?
yeah,
Okay, and then we had notified the union.
yes,
Them were the 3 steps that we had taken.
correct.
Got you, okay, so, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
trustee, McIntyre.
Yes, thank you very much. And this is it's always a very sad, somber time when a member of an esteemed profession, such as the teaching profession, is called up for tenure. It's a very extreme situation, and it is only done under extreme emergencies, and I understand that this is one of those cases. And the board is fully abreast of the developments of this case, which are not new, which are not sudden, which have been ongoing for quite some time, over a year. It's unfortunate that it has been no response from the party involved. And that's in fact one of the charges and one of the things that we're addressing today. And I understand, and I would like to remind the board that putting an envelope with communication that is not certified mail into a mailbox is illegal. It was a courtesy to hand deliver a piece of correspondence. This is not our responsibility to do that. It was a courtesy because we care, and this is, like I said, an extreme situation, an important situation. This employee has union representation and has failed to utilize that. And there are a lot of details that we need not go into publicly in an open meeting for respect of the employee. So to cast aspersions on the dedication and the professionalism and the work of the two members who are up before us, I think is abhorrent. I have no doubt in my mind that you went above and beyond the call of duty in terms of taking care of this matter. It's something that we need to move forward with. It's dragged on way too long. And in fact, I think we've been more than lenient in terms of handling this. It needs to get taken care of because this is detrimental to our students and to our scholars. This is not about a particular employee, but this is about the well-being of our district and our school. So that's enough to be said, I think, in my opinion, but I just wanted to address those veiled accusations of non-delivery and such, and there's documentation. We understand that there is. We understand that you're not going to have it in your back pocket tonight. That's completely unreasonable. Thank you very much for taking way too much time over this yet again, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Was the union responsive to you?
Yes. Yep, I did receive communication even as of today from the union. I followed back up to see if they had heard anything, and they said they hadn't received a response from her as well.
So she knows she has union representation, and she knows she's under contract with the school,
Correct.
and she's just totally not there.
From what I was told from the union rep, they hadn't received a response from her.
And how long has this been going on, you say?
Since last year, but the information here, just going on, based off of the information here, it's been the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Trustee Clack?
So, real quick, just so the audience can understand, what is the protocol? Is it just for you to send a certified letter and everything else that you did was in addition to?
So the process was sending a certified letter, sending it to her union rep, and then also attempting to hand deliver it.
So the norm is to send it to the union rep? That's what,
Yes, you would provide it to the union as well, so they'd be aware, so she'd have an opportunity to have representation.
right, so everything in addition to, including you mailing it to her house and then
Right.
going to her house is
Right.
in addition to. I just wanted to make sure so the crowd, so the people in the audience can understand that.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Is there any more discussion? Madam Chair.
If I
Trustee
may.
Rutherford.
For just, I'm not understanding where my colleagues coming from, casting dispersion on someone. But when you issue a certified document, the document is signed and it's mailed back to the sender, which shows proof. So in the case where litigation comes in place, that is the district's proof that they did it according to the process. So my ask of the district is to make sure all that's taking place. And if it's taking place, let's proceed. But there's no need of going forward when you know you don't have everything that you need. So let's have everything that we need to move forward. Also, if the union is involved, where is the documentation where she denied union representation? Because I see one side. I would like to see all of it. And unlike my colleague, I'm not familiar with everything that's going on with this. So I would like to just see the documents. This has been, someone said a year. I'm not privileged to that. So I would like to have good information to make a good decision, because we all can agree that teachers are very, very rare nowadays, and to terminate a tenured teacher with 20-plus years, that shouldn't be just a sneeze. I think that should be something that this board take really serious in regards to reading the information prior to a meeting, which means to have the information. So, do I believe you guys would do the right thing? I would hope so. But I, as a board member, I am tasked with making sure things are in place. Thank you.
Trustee Clark?
Just a question. If one were trying to, let's say, not receive a letter, they could dodge and not sign, or maybe be home and look out the window and not. So it doesn't necessarily say that she did not get. There was 3 different opportunities. So if the person in question did not want this process to continue, then they could not sign. Is that a possibility? So we could be here forever waiting on someone to sign a document and send it back. Is that correct? Just wanted to make that.
Okay, with this, our last round.
Yep.
Trustee
Yep.
McIntyre?
Yep, so not to belabor a point, but just to address some comments. We've had several meetings. The documentation has been provided. It's on the particular board, it's on all of the board members to go to those meetings and to apprise themselves of the information that has been provided over the year or so that we've received it. We have all of the documentation. As I've said, we've really belabored this process, and it's gone on way too long. We've had several meetings. We have all the documentation, and I just wanted to say again, the aspersions that we're acting hastily without evidence is meritless, and you know, that kind of that needs to stop. This is not the place for this on this board.
Appreciate that. Seeing no further comment, to accept the resolution that before us will be done by roll call vote. Board members, as I call your name, please say yes or no to accept the resolution that sits before us. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre?
Yes.
Vice President Klatt?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
No.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Myself, President McNeil, is a yes. 5 yes, 1 no, and 1 absent. The resolution passes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate.
I now turn the floor over to Trustee King for the human resource portion of the agenda.
All right, I would like to call the Human Resources Committee of the whole meeting to order. Mr. Jones, I call upon you to present action to the board.
Yes, sir. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 1.9, personnel recommendations, to the regular board meeting on September 18, 2024 for adoption.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre, supported by Secretary Perkins, to move 1.9 to the regular board meeting. Is there any discussion on item 1.9? Seeing no discussion, be roll call. Trustee Rutherford?
No.
Vice President Clark?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Myself, Trustee King, my vote is a yes. Motion passes for 5 yes, 1 no. All righty. To my colleagues, you know, in your packet, information about retirements and resignations is presented. Any board members have any questions? All righty. Thank you, Superintendent Jones. Seeing no further business, HR Committee of the Whole is declared adjourned. Turn over to Assistant Secretary Treasurer McIntyre.
Academic.
Is that the wrong? Right, but
We're
that's.
going to finance,
is-
aren't we?
Finance.
We're going to finance. Luna's not here.
Do you have the fin, yep.
Thank you.
I would like to call the Finance and Operations Committee of the whole meeting to order. I will now call upon Superintendent Jones to present action to the board.
Okay. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 11.8, authorization to install bypass valve on chiller, to the regular board meeting on September 18th, 2024 for adoption.
You seeking a motion to move it? Go ahead.
I make a motion that we move action 11.8 to the regular board meeting for adoption.
Support.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing no further discussion, the motion to move Resolution 11.8, authorization to install bypass valve on chiller, to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Trustee Relaford?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Vice President Clack?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre, myself, yes. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes, 1 absent. Superintendent Jones?
Yes, I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 11.9, authorization to replace heat pump at Administration Building, to the regular board meeting on September 18th for adoption.
Trustee McIntyre.
Trustee King?
I'd like to make a motion to batch 11.9 through 11.11.
Is there a second?
Support.
It has been motioned and properly motioned and seconded to batch, what were the numbers again, Trustee King?
11.9 through 11.11.
11.9 through 11.11.
Yes.
Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Madam President?
I kind of would like to hold back on the action because I do have some questions on 11.9.
Trustee McIntyre.
Trustee Clack, did you, I thought I heard you.
I did say, but I noticed you said that the president wanted to ask a question, so I'll ask my to come.
Okay, so, Trustee King.
I would like to ask my colleagues, inform my colleagues, so I made a motion to batch. Following that, I'll probably make a motion to approve, but in that approval, we can have discussion where our colleagues are able to ask questions, right? Questions are always able to be asked during that conversation, right? Is that okay with my colleagues?
I'd like to, Trustee Clack?
So, the only thing that I would have a question on would be, Mr. Henderson, would be the new condensate line at DTM. What is a condensate line? I'm pretty sure what the heat pump is at the administration. I mean, that means if we don't approve this, that you guys will be cold this winter, correct?
That would be correct. The condensate is when you extract the heat out of it, it turns to water and then recirculates back to the
So
boiler.
this is through the side,
It's just a loop.
so this goes through what are those things on the side of the walls? Is that how that goes?
Yeah,
Okay.
through a unit header.
Right, okay. And the gym floor here at ALA, that was buckling, correct? Is that how that was because of the rain? I know it's been a problem for a while now.
Buckling, that was different. Say that again?
Was it the gym floor, was it
Oh, the gym
bubbling
floor,
up, or was it, I'm sorry.
Yes, the gym
Right.
floor was buckling due to the rains.
Right, I
storms
know
that
when I came
flooded
for a
the
visit earlier this year, that was the issue, because I went in there and I tried to go and it was blocked off. So that was earlier this year. Those were my only two questions, my only question, and the reason why I was pushing for the badge. Thank you.
And the concern for the gym floor for this administration is we have our scholars here, and their principal is also here as well, rooting for the kids to be able to have their gym back. This is the only school currently that does not have their gym. Of course, we have new gyms being installed in other buildings, but these students here went without a gym last year, and we don't want that to happen again this year.
Madam President, did you have?
Well, since we are discussing, I was just concerned about the replacing the heat pump at Administration Building. It appears to me that we continually having a problem with that boiler. Is this the first time? I thought we did something with that before. Maybe
So
it's me.
the month
past.
in July, we did bring this to the board for a resolution, and it was just part of the puzzle on this one. So now together, everything has been brought, and we're replacing these pumps because they don't produce enough GPM, and you're at the high end of the pump. So we're upgrading to a higher capacity pump. I know that's redundant, but it goes from a 5 to a 10, and that gives us better heat flow through the building. And yes, it is something that needs to be addressed for the administration building.
Okay, because I understand, we're dealing with old fixture, old buildings. It's just like an old car, you fix one part, something else go bad. And it's stuff that have to be done until we get enrollment up and move forward where we can do better. So I just want to get an understanding, but I just remember us working on that boiler before, so thank you for your information. I'm done, trustee.
Trustee Perkins, did you have?
No.
And I just want to say, since we're still on the motion to batch the items, that again, I express my dissent to batching items. It's not best practices. I just, we should expedite matters and vote on each individual item, especially as they're coming before the board, and we may or may not have seen them, and give the public an opportunity just for best practices. I've expressed this before, so I will not be voting on batching the items. I appreciate the discussion on all of the items, but in general, I'm not going to be batching items. I also had a question about the heat pump at the administration building. I'm just concerned that, I guess I don't understand why it's gone from 16,000 to 41,000. And I'm concerned because I just don't understand these things. I know that it's just one piece of many. It's like President McNeil said, and I know that it's not just limited to one part, but to two, and that it's going to exceed. I mean, I get that, but I'm just super worried about our general fund deficit, and I'm getting very nervous about the impending budget deficit that we're about to have to our general fund, and so I'm just very nervous. So this is something that so it's just the combination of the two proposals. Is that what you're?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and thank you for your patience as I take time to catch up on this, yeah. Trustee King?
To my colleagues, oftentimes, I just explain my thought process. All due respect to Trustee McIntyre, yes, you express your opposition to batching, 100%, I hear you, and it's noted. I don't want you to take it as I'm negating what you're saying, right? I disagree with what you're saying, but I respect your opinion on what you're asking. To me, in my mind, to my thought process, most of the items in finance and operations committee of the whole are issues as simple, right? I would even ask Mr. Henderson, what does it take for a whole new boiler, like the whole system for admin building? We're going to be there for years, right? So instead of piecemealing, what's the process of just replacing the whole thing?
You're typically in about $250,000 to replace the entire heating system.
Right, and to my colleague's point, we're at, what, 40?
It's 41,000
41,
for
right?
these pumps.
Probably over time, we've already been trying to getting close to 100,000 at least, right? If the board want to start investing into, the admin building, just fix the heat pump instead of, if we start seeing failures in certain things and we always got to keep coming back to this conversation, why not just replace the whole thing? That's my opinion, because it's like we keep piecemealing this thing up. It's adding to a new one, especially if it's dated. Do we know how long that boiler system been in there?
I don't recall the date of the boiler.
Okay,
It's in there.
right. So I'm not in your job all the day, right? So I don't know. I can't put an age limit on it, but knowing the history of our buildings, right, there lack of investment, right? There's lack of tracking about the age and how long these things have been kept up. Replace the thing, right? Like as we're renovating buildings, replacing, getting new equipment in, right? But I think we also should, just replace the full equipment exactly instead of piecemealing, because over time, if we look at it, probably been $250,000 we spent probably at the admin building on that specific issue. But also in my mind, I will be making a motion to approve these items because, one, it speeds up this work in a week ahead, right? So admin building can just be started, the work could be started. He could be reassured that we don't have to worry about that for next month when it comes, right? ALA, we can get the gym floors, we can try to get this started as soon as possible. I'm for actually moving these things forward. There's nothing here in my mind that prohibits or calls for a deep discussion that will impact scholars, right? My purpose, what I believe we're supposed to be focused on, the student outcomes. These are minor things that add to the student outcomes, but to my colleagues, my rationale, let's get it done, let's get ahead, and just worry about the bigger picture items. If we could spend our time focused on the boiler, on small pieces, we can spend that time actually talking about the big issues that I think we have facing soon, right? That's just my opinion, but I digress. I'm done, Trustee McIntyre.
I believe what we were talking about was the batching. And I think that, and I had spoke to my colleagues, I listened, that sometimes that we would not like to batch. Batching to me should be something that of an urgent matter, but we have gotten in the habit of batching and not getting a full understanding. And one of Robert Rules of Order that every colleague should have a voice and opinion. And I think that's what this is situation was. Should we bash these items or not? I don't think it's a question on approving them, because we know for a fact come September 24th, if I'm not mistaken, we are offered, the ESSA money? September 30th. And $200-some thousand. And then we have a 10-month plan in place that we're looking moving to the future. So we're gonna have to be penny pinching our money until we get into this 10-month plan that Superintendent Jones had passed, looking for additional funds. So I would never suggest that we spend $200-some thousand, and in our 10-month plan, there's a way kind of out of this. So it's not that I'm not talking about these items, not approving them. I think the question was, we get kind of, I know I'm guilty of it, just batching and not getting a clear understanding, nor the public getting a clear understanding. I'm aware of technology and all of that, but it's just something that we can vote on it up or down. We don't have to have no discussion. He made a motion that we batch. We don't want to batch, take a vote, 4 up or 4 down. But as well as according to approving, that's not the issue for me.
there any more discussion about the batching? So it has been properly moved and seconded to batch 11.9 through 11.11. Seeing no further discussion, this motion will be adopted by will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. President McNeil?
We done had it,
It's to batch.
oh, to batch. We can batch, yes. for this.
President Clack?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Myself is a no. Treasurer Luna is absent. So
Trustee McIntyre?
motion passes by a vote of 5 to 1 with 1 absent.
So the batch passed.
So the batch is passed. Now we move to move resolutions 11.9 through 11.1.
Trustee McIntyre?
Trustee King?
I was gonna make a motion to approve, no, I make a motion to approve the batched items.
Support.
Yes, I was in the middle of,
You said, I'm sorry, you said we're moving on to 11.9. That's what you said.
okay.
That you, so I made the motion to batch the items, right? Now we have to,
Batch the
we got them
items.
batched. Now we have to make a motion to approve or, not approve, right? So I'm making a motion to approve the items.
To go move.
To move the items forward to
To-
the meeting.
No, I said approve.
She said approve. It was second.
It was seconded by trustee Rutherford.
So, point of order. Trustee King, would you please allow me to conduct this committee meeting of the whole without obfuscating the motions?
What-
I was
Point of
reading a
information.
script. The point of order. I have the floor. So I'm reading the script according to how it needs to move forward. I was seeking a motion to move resolutions 11.9 through 11.11 to the regular meeting for adoption, as is the procedure for these meetings. You needed to wait until I was finished, and then you may make a motion, which is different from moving these batched items to the regular meeting.
Point of order, with all due respect, I think that was inappropriate, what you said, what he needs to do. We're all adults. So I would hope that you would take that back.
Denied. So we have a motion on the floor from trustee King to move the batched resolutions 11.9 through 11.11
Point of order.
forward for adoption.
If-
What is your point of order?
So I was trying to help my colleague out. I was trying to help you out to make sure you had specifically said the language I used, because oftentimes when we get to the time to vote, we hear, well, wait, is it approve or is it moving forward? I was specifically trying to make sure you understood. I said approve. Last time we had the same issue, we said, oh, I can't remember, wait, which one you said? I'm confused. So we have to go back. But my colleague thought, I'm not trying to attack you here. I'm trying to partner here. I'm trying to help you because you specifically said move. I said approve. Moving is to the next meeting.
So point of order. So part of the problem is the interruption of the process, which would have talked about moving the batched items for adoption to the regular meeting.
So
And you interrupted and changed that adoption.
right, I individually.
So I appreciate you
as a member can do that.
trying to assist, but
So-
let's move forward.
So point of information. So is it not true on your script right there, it specifically go one by one that says move to the regular meeting next week?
Yes?
Okay, point of information. Did I not make a motion to make a batch items?
Yes.
Point of information, did I not say that I was going to make a motion to approve
I
the
don't
batch items?
think that this is what is up for debate.
I mean, I'm
Can we-
trying to help you, and you know what?
Point
Run the
of
meeting.
order.
Go ahead.
Point of order. We're just
Let me
moving
help you.
forward. This is redundant, and
redundant?
we're just moving forward. Trustee King has made a motion to move the batched items 11.9 through 11.11 for adoption.
My understanding, he moved the batch. We approve it, to batch it. Now we have to approve to accept this batch. Because we went into discussion, and that, because sometimes we keep going on and on, it
Point-
does get confusing.
Point of order, we didn't move on to discussion. We're still hung up on this, on making the motion, because the motion has been changed from moving to the regular board meeting. The motion was made to move forward.
That's not what, excuse me, point of order, point of information. The motion that trustee King made was going to, he never said the word move, he said approve. So he wasn't, when we approved the batch items, the next thing that he said was to make, he said he seeked the motion to approve the batch items. He didn't say move. So instead of, I think that's the hangup. He said approve and not move. So I'm just going on what I heard. He didn't say move, he said to approve the batch items.
I understand that. It was move to make a motion and to approve the items.
That we just batched. yes.
Correct. And what I had been in the middle of was moving to the regular meeting for adoption, which is what is written on the script.
But he made
the
an
motion
amendment to the
changes the
regular.
script.
Yes, he made a motion to.
Correct.
Yeah, which was before, he made a motion to batch. We agreed to batch. Once we agreed to batch,
Correct.
he made a motion to approve it. And the motion is in order. And then we can debate it later on, but he made the motion, am I correct, to approve it, correct?
Yes, and now we are
So we have to honor
on,
that motion,
and we are, I just said.
okay? But he never did mention, after we approve this, then you make that motion to move it.
So the motion
I'm trying to figure out
to
what you're trying to do.
approve.
Yeah,
The motion to approve 11.9 through 11.11 has been made by trustee King. Has it been seconded?
Trustee Rutherford second.
yes.
By trustee Relaford. Are there any discussions? Okay, seeing no discussion, the motion to approve 11.9 through 11.11 will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Trustee Relaford.
I vote yes to approve the motion.
Trustee King. Vice President Clack.
Yes.
President McNeil.
Yes,
Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
And myself, Trustee McIntyre, yes. Treasurer Luna is absent. So the motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Okay, so let me make the notes.
okay.
So this is the batch.
Then we have to move it. We can't
Yep.
we're not approving it tonight, we're moving it. Because we're not
It
approving.
just
tonight.
passed.
Oh, okay, oh,
It just
okay,
passed because he didn't move it to the meeting.
okay.
No, it doesn't.
11.8, we approved it for next week. 11.8.
11.8 does. Yes, thank you.
Next week, yeah.
Thank you.
Goes to next week.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I could use it tonight because that would help us with the heating and issues, but
It should have been 11.8 through 11.8.
through 11.8.
Well, it should have been
correct.
11.8 through 11.11, moved to the next meeting, is what it should have been.
I seek
But
a
think
motion,
he-
can I,
but,
I'm sorry.
Point of information,
Go
we're kinda
ahead.
out of order. So,
Just make a motion.
we could go in and, do exactly what trustee Rowley is going to say, is seek a motion for 11.8 to be approved tonight, because the motion is at any time, even, because we did not do anything with 11.8.
Well,
So,
we
did do something with it.
But what you're saying.
He wants to
is-
get approved tonight.
So that's up to the Board of Education.
So that can be by a motion, do a roll call if we're going to approve it tonight. By amendment to that motion.
It's been passed, it would have to be,
Amendment?
it would have to be, yeah.
I think trustee King.
Well, Melanie's
So-
on,
No, anyone
HR.
can, anyone
Anybody
can
can,
do
because I was
that.
on the winning
Yeah,
side,
thank you.
so.
Oh, okay, right.
I make a motion that we approve 11.8 tonight.
Support.
The motion to approve 11.8, to support, or to pass 11.8 tonight has been moved by trustee Relaford and supported by trustee King. Is there any discussion?
I have a question for
Yes.
Yes.
So, just so everyone else can understand, the bypass valve on the chiller, can you kind of explain to us what that is? Even though I think I got something, I think I got a clue as to what it is, but
So the bypass valve on a chiller allows the chiller to run and keep flow going through it. And what's been happening is it's been cutting off due to low water pressure because the pressure switch is failing and closing the loop, so the chiller goes down. And when that happens, we have to bring out another crew to start the chiller back up and start it again. And this bypass valve, as well as the controls, will eliminate that process.
all this the bypass.
And it will allow it to continuously circulate.
Like something like a thermostat on the car, kind of?
Similar, yes.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, the motion to approve 11.8 from, going from the board meeting next week to approving it tonight is up for a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion tonight instead of moving to the regular board meeting. Trustee Relaford,
Yes.
trustee King. Vice President Clack,
Yes.
President McNeil,
Yes.
trustee McIntyre, yes. Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. So the motion to approve 11.8 tonight passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Pam, I hope you can figure out these notes. Okay. All right. Seeing no further business, I declare the Finance and Operations Committee of the Whole meeting adjourned. I turn the floor over to, or I retain the floor for myself for the Academics Committee of the Whole portion of the agenda. Time of the adjournment is 7:43. I would like to call the Academics Committee of the Whole meeting to order. I will now call upon Superintendent Jones to present action to the board.
Thank you, Trustee McIntyre. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.3, authorization to purchase approved item from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Nurses Grant FY25 to the regular board meeting on September 18th for adoption.
I seek a motion to move action item 25.3, authorization to purchase or approve item from Michigan MDE Nurses Grant.
Support.
It has been moved and
It wouldn't, who moved?
properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the page.
Page 34.
I know what I'm trying to get to
Oh,
it.
you just gotta get to, yeah.
Point of information.
What is your point of information, Trustee Rutherford?
Did President McNeil make the motion?
Yes, she did.
Okay. She said, "I seek a motion." I just want to make sure that it's for the record. I just want to be correct. Those were her words. So, she said she seek a motion.
Is there any other comments, any other discussion? Okay, seeing no discussion, the motion to move Resolution 25.3, authorization to purchase approved items from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Nurses Grant FY25 to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins,
Yes.
President McNeil,
Yes.
Vice President Clack,
Yes. Yes.
Trustee Rutherford,
Yeah.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Trustee King? Yes. And myself, Trustee McIntyre, yes. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Superintendent Jones?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.4, authorization to purchase approved items from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Clinical Therapist Revenue Funds FY25 to the regular board meeting on September 18th, 2024 for adoption.
Trustee Perkins?
I make a motion that we move 25.4, authorization to purchase approved items from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Clinical Therapist Revenue Funds, FY25, to the regular board meeting, the next regular board meeting.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? President, or Vice President Clack?
No, I'm just looking, there's no detailed list of the, what this is there?
At the previous board meeting on the 23rd, those items were
That's what-
listed for
okay.
the last one, yeah.
Okay.
So that's included in that.
Yeah, I see.
These particular funds would help to supplement or offset these things for a clinical therapist.
It says it right here, August 21st, sorry.
I-
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No, Ms. Pam, Ms. Beard
Oh,
behind you.
I can't hear.
Ms. Beard behind you.
Oh,
Jennifer Collins, who was the Director of Health Services, stated that. So if you look in your packet,
I was looking for it.
there's a
Yeah.
contract, and all of that information is for both of those.
Mhm.
She said, stated this in there.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, Ms. Beard.
You're welcome.
Ms. Beard.
do you have any more questions?
No, ma'am.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, seeing no further discussion, the motion to move Resolution 25.4, authorization to purchase approved items from Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Clinical Therapist Revenue Funds, FY25, to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Vice President Clack?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Trustee King?
Yes.
Myself, Trustee McIntyre, yes. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Superintendent Jones?
Yes, ma'am. I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.5, authorization to renew memorandum of Memorandum of Agreement with Dr. Reyes, Medical Director, School Wellness Program, to the regular board meeting on September 18, 2024 for adoption.
Trustee Perkins.
I make a motion that we move resolutions 25.5 authorization to renew memorandum of agreement with Dr. Reyes, Medical Director, School Wellness Program, to the regular board meeting on September 18th for adoption.
Is there a second?
Support.
It's been seconded by President McNeil. Is there any discussion?
Let's move on. No discussion.
No? No? Okay. Seeing no further discussion, the motion to move Resolution 25.5, authorization to renew memorandum of agreement with Dr. Reyes, Medical Director, School Wellness Program, to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Vice President Clack?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Trustee King?
Yes.
Myself, Trustee McIntyre, yes. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Superintendent Jones?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.6, authorization to renew memorandum of agreement with Ms. Valencia, licensed master social worker, school wellness program, to the regular board meeting on September 18, 2024 for adoption.
Make the motion to move 25.6.
Okay,
25.8.
Is that,
We on 25.8?
no, 25.6.
25.6.
0.6,
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay.
Support.
It has been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing as there's no further discussion, the motion to move Resolution 25.6, authorization to renew memorandum of agreement with Valencia Oanidi, licensed master social worker, school wellness program, to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I say your name, call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Vice President Clack?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
And myself, Treasurer McIntyre, yes. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Superintendent Jones?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.7, recognition of Constitution Day and Hispanic Heritage Month, to the regular board meeting on September 18th for adoption.
I make a motion that we move Resolution 25.7, recognition of Constitutional Day and Hispanic Heritage Month, to the regular board member meeting on September 18th for adoption. Support.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Rutherford?
isn't September, is this month, correct?
The 17th.
Yes.
Okay, but it's for the whole month, right?
It's recognized on the 17th.
Oh, it's recognized on the 17th, but they celebrate the whole month,
Yes.
right? Okay, that's all I want, just verify that.
I'd like to ask, is this mandated by the federal government?
It is mandated as part of the federal government, so there are activities that are scheduled for September 17th that would include a plethora of activities around the district, which will be shared with you at the next board meeting, I believe.
So this is something that it's a formality
Yep.
that we have to pass?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion?
I just have a comment. In my day job, I've been celebrating it all month, so that was why I asked the question, because we've had several, in northern Michigan, they've had several events. So I just wanted to make sure that the audience knew it was the entire month and just not one day.
So noted. Any other discussion? All right, seeing no further discussion, the motion to move Resolution 25.7, recognition of Constitutional Day and Hispanic Heritage Month to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Vice President Clack?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Trustee King?
Yes.
Trustee Relaford?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Myself, Treasurer McIntyre, yes. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Superintendent Jones?
I seek a motion and a second from the board to move Resolution 25.8, authorization to sign Memorandum of Understanding with Michigan State University Fellowship of Instructional Leaders to the regular board meeting on September 18, 2024 for adoption.
Hello?
Trustee Perkins?
I make a motion that we move Resolution 25.8, authorization to sign memorandum of understanding with Michigan State University Fellowship of Instructional Leaders to our regular board meeting September 18th for adoption.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Trustee Clack?
I'm reading. So this is for the teachers and the principals only, correct?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, there's many parts of our district that, that participate in these particular the fellowship activities. Not to mention that there is coaching that's provided in this on both a district and a building level. And that includes our Saturdays, which could mean anywhere from our ancillary staff, which we included this past year, and teachers as well. So this is expanded beyond just our teachers receiving this particular opportunity.
So this is something like additional training? I see a fellowship.
Not only is it additional training, but it also reinforces and supports our partnership agreement, as well as many of the initiatives that we have around the district to reinforce the frameworks of MTSS, to reinforce the curriculum and instruction, to make sure that we're continuing to embody people with the opportunities to grow. Yes.
Okay. Now, the only reason why I asked is because it said the school leadership teams, and then it specifically says principals and their teacher leaders. So
Yeah.
that's why.
And there could be other people that the principals would identify to be part of that leadership team. Behavior specialists, family engagement people, I mean, it depends on who they identify for their leadership team as well.
Okay. I just wanted to get some clarification. That's it.
Yes, sir.
And how is this being funded?
This is being funded through Title II. And there was an RFP that was conducted for this particular round of establishing that we would be in partnership with MOU, where 9 submissions were submitted, and Michigan State was the one that fared the best in that particular RFP process.
So it's hard for me to hear. I mean, I did hear what you said, but if you could speak more clearly. So
Yep.
it was like an RFP.
Yep.
And
RFP was
9
conducted, and there were 9 submissions that were submitted. None of them were local at all, and none of them paled in comparison to being able to do everything that was requested in the RFP that was proposed out there. And Michigan State fared the best as far as the points were considered in looking at the other submissions that were submitted.
And this is mandated through a partnership agreement that we have to do this fellowship through Title II with somebody, and this is how it all's transpired?
Yeah, it's not dictated that we do it with MSU, but we do have to have partnerships around instruction and learning and making sure that we're closing our achievement gaps in regards to our literacy and math goals.
And so how much does MSU profit from this?
I wouldn't be able to answer you as to how much that they profit from this. I can only tell you that the amount that we are being, charged with would be the $500,000.
But it's coming out of a Title II grant.
All of it is title money.
I would just like to be really mindful about all of our title grants and our grants that we're getting, because that's what makes Flint schools a cash cow, and why people are so eager to partner with us because of that sweet, sweet grant money. And not that I have anything against Michigan State or that, I just want to keep our eyes on the nonprofit industrial complex and make sure that it's keeping our interests in mind and furthering the public schools and our students' best interests, and not just a cash grab for grant dollars, which is what a lot of education has turned into and is becoming. Are there any other discussions?
If I could say, I wouldn't agree with you, I couldn't agree with you more, and that's why I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to do an RFP and we had so many submissions and they were able to rise to the top as far as being able to provide us dollar for dollar the things that we needed in this district to be successful. So I appreciate those comments.
I don't mind partnerships if they're mutually, inclusive.
Absolutely.
They're partnerships. And I have to say that 9 submissions for a grant is amazing. That really shows a sort of robust competition for that. So
Absolutely.
It's good job. Any other discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, the motion to move resolution 25.8, authorization to sign memorandum of understanding with Michigan State University Fellowship of Instructional Leaders to the regular meeting for adoption will be conducted by a roll call vote. As I call your name, please say yes or no to approve this motion. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
President McNeil?
Yes.
Vice President Clack?
Yes.
Trustee Relaford?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna is absent. Trustee King? Yes. Myself, Trustee McIntyre, yes. Motion passes by a vote of 6 yes to 1 absent. Thank you, Ms. Fields and Superintendent
Thank you, Board. We
Jones.
appreciate you.
Seeing no further business, I declare the Academics Committee of the Whole meeting adjourned. I now turn the floor back over to President McNeil at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, Trustee McIntyre. We're now going into remarks from individual board members. Do any board member have any comments before we adjourn?
Madam Chair,
Uh,
I go after Secretary Perkins.
I know we discussed last year, fiscal school year, about the HBCUs. And I don't know if you're aware, they have the Black Expo in Detroit on September 21st. And my daughter is a teacher, and she's taking a load of children. I hate that she's not with us, but anyway, she's taking them, and I think we should be trying to gather up some of our students to go, because they got scholarship money and everything for these students. And I think whoever was in charge last year and helping to see about that, we need to get busy. And I went on Eventbrite, and if you just pull up Black College Expo, you can get free tickets to go. It's September 21st. And there was a parent that called me today, and she wanted to know why the parents had to stand outside of Doyle Ryder and wait to go in and get their children, and I didn't have an answer for her. And she said, I just had a baby, and it's a newborn baby, and I have to go get my child. And so, Superintendent, I guess I would have you, look into that. I have a phone number for you, though, if you be so kind as to. Okay, that's all I got.
Trustee King.
Yes, I would like us to take a moment of silence for 9/11. As today is the anniversary for 9/11, and that happened in New York City. All right, thank you. I also want to recognize Ms. Bridget Jones, our communication specialist, and team.
That name again, I'm sorry.
Bridget Jones.
Oh, okay,
Our
thank you.
communication specialist and team for putting on the community event. When I tell you, I was excited. I felt good. Seeing the families engage and the scholars having fun, really enjoying themselves and having a nice event for our community, that meant something to me. That showed me the progress that we're making, right? People are starting to trust Flint schools. Yes, we may have issues, yes, but everyone has issues, right? The progress that Flint schools is making, I don't want folks to miss out, right? And we're giving people opportunity to join in and come partner with us. It was amazing. It was an amazing event. And I wanted to say it myself, make sure I publicly say it. Thank you, Mrs. Jones, for putting on that event. I know it was stressful, but she got it done. Mr. Jones, I want to thank you for your leadership of that. You know, that's something that, you know, I know President McNeil brought up about having a community event, a community-wide event, and bringing that to fruition was amazing. Thank you for your visionary leadership in that role, but also the back end that we was able to attend. How do we sharpen our skills for the next year, right? That's something that's good leadership. I want to be able to make sure I publicly say thank you for it, and I hope everyone come out to the ribbon cutting. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday at 10 a.m. at Potter Elementary, so we're able to see the wonderful work that was done for our scholars. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee McIntyre?
Yes, also kudos to everybody, and to Bridget, especially to your husband. That was an amazing editing job. I was, where?
Oh, yeah, stand up.
Stand up.
Come to the podium.
All right. I was blown away. I'm like, who did we do that in that? Like, what? That's, wow, that was some good stuff there. You got the Baba Collins dance, like, in sync with the soundtrack. I noticed, I see you. Also, just good job to everybody. You know, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, family things, but thank you. It looked amazing, and hopefully it's, you know, it's the inaugural, you know, event. We're going to be doing this from here on out. It really got a lot of buzz. In terms of HBCUs, Trustee Perkins mentioned, I want to, you know, throw my wholehearted support behind that, as you know, as well as other colleges, but especially HBCUs. Trustee Clack, I believe your daughter is very active. Haley is very active. Haley Clack. In doing that, maybe we can get her more involved. And also Dr. Calvin Derone Harvell from Henry Ford College is also offered. He has his Kings and Queens group at Henry Ford College, and is just waiting for the board. He's been waiting for a couple of years now. He has a very successful program of retention, moving community college onto HBCUs. He gets a lot of grant money himself and is very, very successful and goes on trips. He's a product of the Flint Community Schools himself. His father still lives here, and he's very much invested in making sure that our scholars have those same opportunities, you know, whether it be going to Henry Ford, Mott Community College, or HBCUs. So I would please, let's get in touch with Dr. Harvell. And thanks to my board, again, for all your hard work. And that wraps up my comments.
Vice President Clack?
Okay, I would like to give flowers to Mrs. Jones, Superintendent Jones, and the staff. Mr. Jones, for your wonderful job at the community event. As someone who makes videos, I know how much work you had to put into putting the drone footage together along with everything. So I know what that entails. So shout out to you for that. And for you to do it free of charge. Thank you for that too. I also want to give a shout out to the Flint Jags varsity football team for their first win. And yeah, Coach Verdun and his coaching staff, they did a very good job. It was a nail biter. They went down to the wire, but we won. We pulled it off. Well, they pulled it off in overtime. And I must say that I cheered like I was still playing for Southwestern. I was on the field. Yeah, and they play Powers this coming Friday at Atwood Stadium. So if you have a free Friday night, 7 o'clock, come out and support the Jags. And also to rebut about my daughter Haley, which she wanted to come here, but I just didn't want to get the conflict of interest thing going by me being on the board. But she does do programs with Flushing School District and Carmen and things like that. So once I instructed her that once I got off the board, then she could come back and, I didn't want to do the whole conflict thing. But I forgot the main thing. That's it. I'll just stop there.
That's it. Any more comment? One more? Any more?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I would
trustee
just
Hubbard.
like for the board to keep the school in Georgia in our prayers with the recent tragedy that happened there. And know someone personally that was there, and it doesn't go away because it's not in the news. And it really it hits home being on the board, because if something like that was to happen, we would have to make decisions that would affect people's lives. So just keep them in your thoughts as it relates to them learning a new life. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent Jones?
Yes, so my announcements have been stated. We're all in one mind. The ribbon cutting is going to be a great event. That's one of several this year that we're preparing for. Hats off to Ms. Gretchen Schaefer, Mr. Chris Henderson, and that crew for all the work, Mr. Alan Valez, and the staff over at Potter for just all of the work that's been done. Ms. Bridget as well, she's always in the PR stuff, just making it happen. And we hope to have a wonderful ribbon cutting this Friday from 10 to 11. And you are able, to our community, you are able to walk the building. Students will be in the building in class, so you are able to walk the building to see this magnificent gym and this state-of-the-art auditorium and those classrooms. So that was my announcement. You all stole my announcement, so I appreciate that. It just shows us that we're in sync. And then also, we shut down the central office to be at our boys' first game. And we were rooting, we were out there, they were hot out there, but we had a wonderful time rooting for our boys, and we're rooting for Flint Community Schools. That's re-energizing the pride. So we shut down the office for the rest of that day so that we can be with our boys. So hats off to Mr. Mike Minebrook for making that happen for us. And Coach Verdun, we're behind you, and we hope to see great things happen, not only with our football team, but our volleyball team they're playing right now as well. The last thing I would like to say to the Board of Education, you will be receiving your updates this week, before this week is out, and we have put together a focus plan for the rest of the year. I would like you to take a look at that so we can determine what the future looks like for the rest of the year, looking at those vacant properties, looking at the future of Flint Community Schools. I want to say that it's still important for all of us to be a sounding board to bring scholars back into our district. Teachers, parapros, principals, everyone. The best folks to speak about our district is us. And so I'm still asking everyone to continue. Although we're doing these great things, it doesn't mean anything if we're not bringing our scholars back in. So that's important. That's my focus as a superintendent, to continue to keep our foot down on the gas to make things happen for our district. So thank you, board. Please take a look at that this week. I will be in training next week, so Ms. Cleaves will be standing in for me next week at the regular board meeting. It seems like we got everything taken care of, but I just want to make sure you know, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. I want to just give a shout out to Mr. Jones. He did a presentation at the Gloria Cole Library, and I really think that was a historical moment. As a matter of fact, we're looking to be on their agenda the first of the month. He really represented Flint Community School very, very well. He gave great information, and that's what this board is about. We're moving forward with positive energy. As we move forward to our retreat, is getting there. We had one retreat, I can call it a retreat, when we was at Emily Place with partnership. Now we're finna move in, as we move into vacant property. We've been working on the properties and stuff. Hopefully, Mr. Jones has. He presented a great presentation, what we're going to do. And so the board, we found opportunity for the board members to take citizen planner, partnership with the city, because we got to understand these zoning as we are talking about moving and repurposing properties. And so it's a great event. They're working out the plans and stuff. But I listened to the board. We are moving forward, getting us some training so we can all speak the same language. I just want to appreciate this board. We get great response from the state all the way down on the work that we are doing. And I want to give a shout out to the team that was there at the event. Amen. We had fun, but we worked and we had fun. And I want to just acknowledge Vice President Clack, because I called him on that first game because I knew I couldn't go. And I just love this guy because he was like, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. Next time when I turn the game on and listen, because all I want to do is hear his voice. And I want to let the public know that Vice President Clack, or Mr. Clack, he kind of got this stirred up about this sport. He got us stirred up, the black colleges and stuff. And I just love, I can just pick him up and just call him up. And he said, I know about the game, I'm getting there. And hopefully that I'm gonna make this kind of like a family night. We fought to get these teams out there, so let's fight to stand in line and watch them play.
Yes.
Seeing no further business, we do have an announcement. Your next board meeting is Wednesday, September the 18th at 6:30 p.m. Seeing no further business, I declare the board of committee as the whole meeting adjourned at 8:15.
What are you laughing about, Mike?
Oh,